What's going on?
Hey. I'm playing God right now by trying to control the pain my teeth feel from whitening. And I think I have it down to a system.
Oh.
Where I have to time it right because the pain doesn't start until about 2 to 3 hours after I finish the whitening treatment. And if I time it right, that's when I can pop an Advil PM and then sleep through it.
That's exciting.
That's me being God. Me being Alanis Morissette.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. You know?
Yep.
Why not?
I do. That's what I do. That's right.
I mean, she boops people in the nose. Why can't you just
did love that.
Advil PM, all right?
I was just like, I do want to thank the Lord for Advil PM, I gotta say. Shit works. Have you tried it? Go
Definitely.
Wow.
But I prefer an edible, so.
Well, listen, don't we all, but
here we are.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Hello
there.
Welcome back, listeners.
How we doing?
How's it going?
You ready for some Jersey references?
Woo, baby! I am. I'm fucking ready.
Let's go.
Y'all trying to make Jersey the butt of the joke? No. Wrong. It's where we have to go to save the world. Okay? Get it together. I could have told you that shit, all right?
Mewes, everyone's got to go to Jersey.
Yes. All right. Well, listeners, we are from Jersey, and that's important. But I'm going to introduce ourselves so you know who we are, because we're not angels or prophets or muses or other demons. There's there's plot in this movie. But we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
Oh, there's a bunch of fucking quotes. Here's a good one. Leave it to the Catholics to ruin existence.
Damn.
Oh, my God. Bridge, what's the movie this week?
The movie is 1999, created, written, starred, maybe, by Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Dogma. We have a packed cast.
Oh my God, yes.
Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Jason Mewes, Alan Rickman, Linda Fiorentino. If you saw her, you'd get it. Men in Black. Salma Hayek, Jason Lee, Alanis Morissette, George Carlin.
Did you say Alan Rickman?
Janeane Garofalo.
He's there too.
Who?
Alan Rickman,
Chris Rock. It keeps going. It just keeps going. I was like, holy cow. Kevin Smith. Damn.
And the word dogma, because...
Oh my God, the beginning of the film explained it.
Well, but the Google tells us it is a noun, and it means a principle or set of principles laid down by an authority as incontrovertibly true. When you're given a definition...
Sounded like me.
A definition of a word, don't give me a hard word to say in it. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
It's about religion, guys, okay? And Bridge, I'm going to give... No, it's my synopsis.
Oh, I was like, is it mine?
No.
Okay.
No, it's all me, girl. And I think I can do it. I really do.
Okay, hit it.
I think so. Just before we dive in, there's fucking plot. Okay.
There's a lot of plot.
It's plot. There's not moments of silence.
I'm going to take a nap. Let me know when you're done.
Okay.
I'll come back, okay?
We do start out with the definition of the word dogma, and then there's some jokes about religion and platypuses.
I did love the platypus joke.
I love that. I mean, it's like...
That was pretty funny.
So you.
Oh, wait, should we tell people this is not streaming?
Oh,
so let's make a note of that after your synopsis.
We'll circle back to that. But, yeah, I mean, Kevin Smith, he's fucking funny, and he just tries to set us up to be like, hey, we're going to be talking about religion, and your feathers are going to get ruffled, but like, get over it, it's a movie, chill. And I'm like, yeah! And then right away, we're in Asbury Park, and I'm like, correct, it's all correct. A homeless man does get beat up by children immediately, so that's maybe not correct, but it is part of the plot, believe it or not. And then we go from Asbury Park to Red Bank, New Jersey. Just lots of, not to triangulate where we grew up, but our familial connections are familial in this movie. Mm-hmm. And essentially there is a church. George Carlin is the goddamn cardinal, is that?
Cardinal. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're having a new pope. There's conclave. I don't even know. George Carlin's there, thank God. And he's like, guys, religion is boring. Catholicism, the numbers are down. We're gonna rebuild our church or something. It's gonna be something. And here's a new Jesus statue. And everyone's like, yay. And this is just, I know it's supposed to be a joke, but I don't know, feels a little real.
It does feel real.
So that's cool. And essentially this is what's going on. We have, I'm gonna fuck up a lot of these details, so thank you, IMDb. Matt Damon.
I'm not correcting you. Okay.
Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. You know them. You love them. They might love each other. Okay. They are kind of fallen angels. They live on Earth, but they're not people, and they can't go anywhere, and they were in Wisconsin. And you get a whole backstory, but basically Ben Affleck's character is like, yo, I got this info that they're doing this church thing, and hey, you know what? If we walk through the gates of the church when we're human, it's gonna forgive all our sins, something, and then because all our sins are forgiven, if we die immediately, and which we could do if we're human, then we're gonna go to heaven, and God can't be like, get out because of that. And Matt Damon's like, yeah! And that's what's happening.
Okay.
And because that's happening, we then get Bethany? Is that her name? Yeah. Bethany, who is Linda Fiorentino. She basically right away gets visited by all these religious peeps. First and foremost, Alan Rickman. Thank God you're here. And he's like, yo, funny. Bitch, we're doing the chosen one storyline. It's you. Get over it. You're going to have to deal with some people. It's cryptic. It's crazy. Go team. Well, guess what? She teams up with Jay and Silent Bob. Thank God they're there. They're the prophets. And sure. And then Chris Rock's there too. And basically, she goes on this journey where we keep meeting people that are there to help her, but they're not people. They're prophets and muses and angels and all this stuff. And the whole point is she's got to get to the church before Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, because she's got to stop them, because she's the last Zion. And that's a scary word to say right now, but that's what they say.
They say it.
That's what they say, so we have to say it. And it's a lot of hootin' and shenanigans. There is death. There is ethics. We smoke pot, Jason Lee's there too. He sucks. He's a bad guy.
There's a shit demon.
There's a poop demon. Yeah. Yeah. And then in the end, we find God literally. And it is Alanis Morissette, and she doesn't say words, and she saves the day. And then Linda Fiorentino is apparently Jesus's sister's something, and then she's gonna have a baby like Virgin Mary, but she's not a virgin. And then the day is saved. The end. So.
Basically, Alanis Morissette saves the day, right?
She saves the day. Well, she's God.
Well,
so
I guess Bethany saves Alanis Morissette.
Bethany saves God, who saves the day. That's right. And Jay,
did you guys take notes? Did you guys follow that?
Well, listen. There's fucking.
It's not you. It's the movie.
Plot. And when I describe the movie, it kind of sounds stupid, and maybe parts of it are, but I don't know. I just like Kevin Smith's. I like his writing. I feel like he writes
Yeah.
I don't know, just like ways that normal people think sometimes.
He's
not like pretentious. Like, I don't know. This could have been so pretentious and it wasn't.
It's smooth. You know what's funny too, looking back. Okay, let me touch on two things though. Harvey Weinstein owns the rights to this movie. And basically, I guess, hates Kevin Smith or whatever, and so refuses to sell it back to Kevin Smith. And so he's just, like, blackballing it, and you cannot find this streaming. So if you're thinking to yourself, oh my god, I can't wait to watch this after I talk to Katie, or listen to Katie and Bridget go through this, you could go on YouTube and everyone is like, screw Harvey Weinstein, we will all pirate this, and it's, like, all over YouTube. Yeah. But at first I thought, oh no, what are we gonna do? That's one thing. The second thing is so many critiques about, like, oh, Dogma, it's about religion, and oh my god, they're coming after religion, and then I didn't find it that offensive at all, did you?
No, but I think, like...
I was like, this is so tame. Why were people, like, protesting? Like, what were they protesting about? It was a movie.
I think they were protesting because, like, there were parts that were a little, like, straying from the Bible, and that's, like, a whole part that gets brought up, which was so fucking funny, how they're all like, guys, remember who wrote the Bible? A bunch of white dudes. Guys, we already know how that cookie crumbles. And it was like, correct, Chris Rock and Salma Hayek.
Chris Rock is mad. He's the 13th apostle.
He's like, Jesus was black. And I'm like, he def was. So it's all good. It's all good.
Yep. 1999. Kevin Smith said it first.
And I don't know if we talked about this on air on the last episode, but let's say it again now because it's so fucking funny. And I have to send you the clip and send it because I've watched this before of the video where there's a group of protesters like protesting this movie. And Kevin Smith went out and joined them with like a homemade sign he made. God. And then a reporter was like, hey, let me interview you. And he was just like, yeah, I haven't seen the movie. I just heard it was bad. So it's like, screw Kevin Smith. I'm like, oh my god, it's so amazing.
It's
like,
so amazing.
It's so funny.
How, Gen Z or whatever is quote unquote unserious. He was the original. He was the OG of unserious. Like, that man never took any of his roles, anything. But, okay, I enjoyed this. It was definitely heavy plot.
A lot of plot.
Although it was good actors. So the plot, I was like, okay, it's good people telling the plot. So, and it was them in their heyday. Like, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, heyday.
I mean, when was Good Will Hunting? Was that, like, it was in the 90s,
That was 97.
Right? Yeah, so, like, this is, like, post Good Will Hunting.
Heyday. Totally.
And I was just like, you kids are... There were so many parts of the Ben Affleck and Matt Damon storyline where I was like, is this a documentary about you guys? Because, I don't know. There's just some interactions going on.
They do seem like they love each other.
I think they do. There's a fucking line right in the beginning of the movie, I have it written down right here, where one of them says to the other one, where they're like, stop looking like that. People are going to think I just broke up with you. And I'm like, but did you?
At the airport.
Yeah, I'm like, but did you? Like, is that what's going on, you guys? Like, what?
But the pattern of Matt Damon and Ben Affleck is Matt Damon's the smart one, and then Ben Affleck is like the idiot who screws it up. And I'm just saying, Katie, if we were to look at how people behave and play themselves, I'm just saying that I feel like it could... It's actually absolutely true. Do you know? Do you think so? Do you think it is true?
That's why this is a documentary. And I'm like, do you guys have angel wings under your shirt? Because I'm scared.
So, we start off with George Carlin.
Oh, thank God.
George Carlin, by the way, this is kind of sad, but he had, like, just lost his wife.
Oh.
And then did this movie. And he wasn't in for that long, but he was pretty funny. And the whole Jesus statue with the thumbs up, like, cheesing.
The Buddy Christ. That's his name.
And I
was like, I'm going to see that tonight in my nightmare. So
I laughed so hard when he's like, look at this. Jesus, we got to rebrand Jesus. And honestly, I'm going to be real. I think they do need to do that. Like, the whole, like, Passion of the Christ, blood. Like, I get it. We all get it. But,
yeah.
Versatility? No? I don't know. We're gonna... Actually, I'm so sorry to any religious people we offend.
Oh.
It's just part of the movie, okay?
Listen, if we offend any of you guys and you want to protest, tell me when and where. I'll show up and make a sign and hope that someone interviews me about it, and I'll tell them
like,
I've never listened to the podcast.
Yes, the Sisters Who've Seen It podcast. Everyone's like, the what podcast?
I'm like, and then I'm like handing out business cards, like subscribe, guys.
You're like, here's the website. You have to listen to all the episodes to protest.
Gotta leave a review, but 5 stars is bad. Totally.
But the whole okay, so we're opening the Buddy Christ and we're opening our church, which, by the way, what church was that in Red Bank?
I believe that was St. James.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. That's the front of it.
It definitely looked like it, but they pulled a lot of stuff away. So it's like, if you get into the arches of this church, you're all saved. Like, that was his whole thing. Like, the Buddy Christ forgives all of you. And but where's the loophole come?
Why does Buddy Christ... Okay, well, this was part of the plot, too, because I was at first like, wait, why does the building, supersede God's banishment of you guys? And they they kept saying it's religious dogma, and they're saying how, religion basically, almost like the people create it, but that gives it power, and so, even though this is really stupid, it matters. And the whole, they wanted to get back into heaven, but if their plan succeeded, everything in the universe, world, whatever that God created would cease to exist, because it would basically say that God made a mistake and that God is supposed to be infallible.
Okay.
And I was like, well, all right, that's a lot.
Yeah, okay.
That's a lot to take in. Listen, Alanis Morissette dated, what was that guy's name from it? Oh God, I was just gonna say It Takes Two. Full House, yeah, Dave Coulier. She dated Dave Coulier. Okay, she is not infallible. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah, who dates that guy?
We make mistakes, and it's okay.
We've all been there.
Yeah. So listen, Matt Damon. When you meet him, he's basically deconverting a nun. It's silly, played for laughs, and then Ben Affleck's like, somebody sent me this newspaper article about this church. I don't know who. Let's do it. And Matt Damon's just like, yeah, let's fucking go. Matt Damon's character is named Loki, and then Ben Affleck's character is named Bartleby. And
Bartleby is a name.
That's a fucking name. That sounds like the name of The Exorcist. Wasn't there a weird name like that for that?
I don't know.
No? All right. And then Loki, his backstory is that he was the angel of death, and they were all like, yeah, back when God was super vengeful, infallible, don't forget, God could do no wrong. But remember when God was kind of fucked up and was having all these people murdered and all these terrible things? That was actually Loki was doing that. And then one day Loki's like, you know what? I met Ben Affleck and we want to hang. And bye. And that's literally why they get banished. It's because they just wanted to hang out with each other and not do their jobs.
Yeah, and not do their jobs.
It
explains so much. He's doing equations on Egyptian pyramids, and God's like, I need you to kill every firstborn son.
Yes, yeah.
Get it together.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think if you get that basic part of the plot, then you're kind of like, okay, we can follow. It's all good. Go team. And then Linda Fiorentino, who is Bethany, you meet her. She's working at an abortion clinic, which, I don't know. I thought there was going to be more with that.
It was just quick.
It was pretty quick. It's there's protesters, and then she's like, anyway, this is where I work, but I still go to church, but I don't know if I believe. And her friend's like, can you chill?
Janeane Garofalo is so funny. She's like,
I love her.
I seriously don't understand how you work at an abortion clinic and still go to church.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is confusing.
That's the question. And then she even has a whole backstory. Bethany has a whole backstory about how she had been married and they were trying to have children and she couldn't get pregnant. And then her husband left her because she couldn't get pregnant, but she works at the abortion clinic.
And she had to get her whole uterus out.
Yeah, like I was just like, oh, wait. Like we don't talk about abortion is the point. Like I feel like Kevin Smith is like, what would be the funniest place for a woman questioning her faith to work? That's it. And then we just like leave it. And you're like, okay. Now, in this day and age, I don't know. I feel like you might need to say a little bit more about things.
It's funny too, because like it wasn't like you saw like girls going in to get an abortion.
No, yeah, like, that's what I mean.
They kept it all surfacey, but that actor, even in Men in Black, she always plays this like depressed, deadpan, mopey lady. Like she was like a mortician. I wonder what her life's like.
And very like when she's being sarcastic, you're just like, oh, haha. Like,
yeah, like, are you okay? I'm scared.
Yeah, she was like such a weird I was reading a lot about how Kevin Smith was like, there were a lot of other women that, you know, for that role. And he even said at one point, he's like, I kind of wish I picked Janeane Garofalo to be the main
She would have
lady.
been great.
I know, she would have been so good. But no, she was just a cameo, you know?
What are you gonna do?
Listen, we meet pretty fucking quickly Alan Rickman. He is, okay, his name is crazy. I didn't know it till close to the end of the movie. Metatron? Like Megatron from Transformers, but It's with a T. And he's not a car. He is an angel. He can light himself on fire. He doesn't have a penis, because he said angels are like Ken dolls.
I had a hard time.
He's the voice of God. So.
First of all, Alan Rickman is so good, but like that I had to see the Ken doll penis,
you did have to see it.
It was kind of hairy.
Hairy? What version did you watch?
But like his stomach was hairy, and then and I just felt like, I don't...
Bridge, you know what he had?
It.
You know what he had?
What did he have?
Did you know what he had?
A Mons Pubis!
He had a Mons Pubis! It all goes back to the Mons Pubis Basic Instinct episode, everybody.
Guys,
everything leads to the Mons.
Go back to it in Mom's Pubis. Mom's Pubis. Mom's Pubis.
Oh, God. Mon.
Okay, someone else talk. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Okay, well, listen. He's like, hey, lady, I'm an angel. And she's like, no way, Jose. And he's like, let's go chit-chat. I'm going to give you exposition. Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, here's the deal. I talk for God because God can't talk out loud or their head's gonna explode. So I get to talk. That's super cool. You gotta go on a holy crusade. It's Harry Potter. It's Frodo. We're doing it. It's Luke Skywalker. We're doing it. It's you. We're not in cool lands. We're just in Illinois, I think, at that point, or Wisconsin maybe. And you gotta go to Jersey. And she's like, what the fuck? And he goes, you're going to meet two prophets. One of them's not going to say shit. I don't know how he's considered a prophet if he doesn't say things.
Yeah.
And then the other one's going to say way too much. And you're going to have to deal with it. And then there's going to be a third guy you're going to meet that I'm not going to tell you about. And she's like, what the hell? And you know what? She just wakes up the next day and she's like, no way. That was not real. And she goes about her life. And then it's late at night. And there is a subplot where there are teenagers with hockey sticks.
Who are really scary.
They're menacing. I mean, they beat up a homeless guy in the beginning of the movie. And I was like, oh, God.
That was God.
Yeah, that was God. We don't find out till later that's God. But that was God who got beat up. And
these are like Jason Lee's villains. His cronies, if you will.
Jason Lee he plays the character Azrael, who is just a demon. Like, that's it.
He's kind of like a demon that is like hedging his bets. He's like, listen.
Yeah.
Hell sucks. But I'm also a demon. But also, I'd love to like not be in hell. But I don't want to be in heaven. But also. He's like, how do you get me out of hell?
He's like, can we just, if everybody gets destroyed, then I'm not in hell. And you're
that's exactly. So he was like, which I guess is very much a demon mentality, no? Here's the thing with these Kevin Smith movies. And I felt this way when we did, what was the Kevin Smith one originally
Clerks.
We did? Clerks.
Yeah.
There's so many characters. There's really not a star ever. Like, even though it's Jay and Silent Bob, like, there's never a star. And so you're kind of following these threads. And it's almost like I didn't even care about the movie. I just cared about who was the new character and the new weird side plot. And then that just moved me like 5-10 minutes along, and it just perpetually does that everywhere. And even when Jay and Silent Bob showed up to fight the evil hockey guys, I was like, oh yeah, God. You're part of this movie. Yeah, I was like,
guys are here too.
And I gotta say, Jason Mewes was so good.
I love him.
Okay,
I love him so much.
Some sad, fun facts. I don't know if it's fun, but was totally on heroin during this movie. And he's always had like a issue with drugs, whatever. But people reference like literally during the filming of this, he was like,
I think he has been sober now for like a couple of years. So I follow him on social media.
He's really good.
He's so good. I mean,
he's really good. I mean, the whole, like, Kevin Smith quotes, like, he stole the show. I'm like, compared to all these powerhouse actors, he really did. Like, I thought he was so funny.
Listen, when they show up, I was hysterically laughing by myself in my room, in my bed, watching this on my laptop on YouTube, because they're like, the bad hockey kids, they're literally like kids. Like, they look like they're 12-year-olds. And then for no reason, Jay and Silent Bob start beating the shit out of these kids. And then Jay makes a comment where he's like, yeah, we did a great job beating up those kids. And then he like sees the lady. He's like, oh, a lady's here. Like, they didn't even do it to save her. They were just like, we gotta beat up these kids. And I'm like, that's the vibe we want. Well, they do make a reference to Mighty Ducks too, thank God.
And they pulled the hockey jerseys over. Like Mighty Ducks, with if you know, you know. I was like, oh my God, Kevin Smith, we're close to the same age. The thing that also cracked me up, and I thought would annoy me, is he constantly was like, Bethany, let's have sex. Bethany, are we going to have sex? Are we going to have sex? But it's like, you don't take him serious that it doesn't come off annoying.
And she didn't either. She was just like, oh my God. Like, anyway. Or she's like, we're busy.
Like, he's not threatening, so somehow he gets away with it, because I thought, oh, this isn't going to age well. Like, after every line, he's like, are we going to have sex? Are we going to have sex? But in the film, I was like, this is still funny to me. I don't know how he's pulling this off.
Yeah, he's good. He has a great line, too. This actually is a little bit of an abortion line, where I don't know how it comes up. She's like, are you guys protesters? Because they're outside the abortion clinic. And he goes, fuck no, we're pro-choice. A woman's body is her own fucking business. And I was like, Jay, correct. Like,
correct, Jay.
Jay's a feminist on the inside, you know? He's looking for consent.
He is.
He supports women making their choice. He's very annoying about it, but we love to see him. So, and there's a line too. He has so many good lines. He was like, let's get the fuck out of here. He goes, I could kick the shit out of kids in Red Bank and make a profit. And then that's why he's like, let's go back to New Jersey. And then she's like, Jersey? Wait a second. That's where I have to go. So, yeah, they try to go to Jersey, and then their car breaks down. And then she's like, this is so stupid. What am I doing?
No, Jay doesn't.
Oh,
he doesn't use like a manual gear shift and ruins the car, and she's so mad at him. And then Chris Rock falls out of the sky naked, and tells everybody he's the 13th apostle.
13th apostle.
I thought, whoa, I have Jason Mewes energy, which is kind of like Chris Rock energy, and then you're gonna have Chris Rock energy. I thought, oh, this could be a lot. Somehow it worked. I don't know how that worked.
It was great. His name was Rufus. She's like, the 13th apostle named Rufus? And he's like, that's right. Let me tell you more stuff. And you're like, whoa. Chris Rock's character is very much the like Reddit thread conspiracy theorist come alive. And I'm like, I'm here for it. I love everything about this.
He's like, Jesus is black. So am I. I'm not in there because I'm black. And then he's like, you know, he keeps being like, all of these little quotes here and there. He's like, that's not actually how it happened. Here's the real deal of what blah, 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 blah. And he knows all the rules, too. He's like, oh, man, dummies, now you made them humans. And I couldn't even keep up. I was like, there's a lot of rules in heaven, you know?
He does do, like, he had an interesting conversation he brings up where he's like, you know, the problem with religion is, like, it's the critique it usually gets, which it's like, it's so dependent on whoever decides to create it, which is a person. And, like, that person's gonna have biases and all this stuff. And he's like, you know, beliefs, like, that's why it's a problem. People shouldn't have beliefs. They should just have, like, ideas. Because, like, ideas you can change or abandon. But when you have beliefs, it's like you can't. You have to be stuck with it. And he's like, and that's the fucking problem.
Well, and beliefs equal identity.
Right. Yeah.
Which is
and
even deeper.
Kind of like it.
No, you're right. I mean, the thing that Kevin Smith does well, too, is he will have this epic, you know, whatever, paragraph. Somebody's saying a line and they're doing their thing and it's amazing. But it didn't have this, like, cheeseball music to build up to it.
Yeah.
It's very much just like, okay, moving on. And so you're kind of thinking to yourself, oh, yeah, there's just everyday brilliance. Yeah. With, like, all of these, like, fascinating characters. I liked Chris Rock in it.
Yeah, I did too.
He was good. I didn't think he needed to be naked from the sky.
Yeah.
But, all right, here we are.
He was.
And then he was talking about how God loves to play skee ball.
God loves skee ball, and then gives the extra tickets to kids when they're done. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a thing. Bridge, I do want to talk about the Matt Damon and Ben Affleck killing spree. Again, I got sweaty. I'm like, did this actually happen somewhere? Was this like a movie exec's office that Ben got mad at and convinced Matt to do it because I'm scared?
Maybe.
Listen. They go to, so Mewes. Mewes in the Kevin Smith universe is a cow. And it could be a fast food place. It also is like a cartoon character. And I think it's basically supposed to be a spoof of Disney with Mickey Mouse was, I guess, my interpretation.
Yeah.
And the two of them, they're like, well, listen, if we're gonna go and get our sins cleansed anyway, let's get back to murdering everyone. But we can only murder people who are bad people. Because that was, I guess, what Matt Damon's character originally would do. It's like, well, they're bad people, so we gotta kill them. Go team. And so they go to this big board meeting, and they're just listing out all these terrible things, all these men have done, and they're really bad. And then there's a lady in there, and he's like, you're fine, you're great, don't worry. And then he just kills everybody. And Matt Damon does like Ben Affleck does like a crazy speech, and I was just like, again, you guys want to talk about it? Like,
the thing what I didn't understand is, I'm like, okay, so Matt Damon was Loki, or still is Loki, but his point was just to murder people, and his whole thing was like, he's like, the sins are black and white, you know, adultery, you know, he's like, do not kill, do not, you know, whatever. I didn't understand what Ben Affleck's like motivation was besides just like egging Matt Damon on. I'm like, how do you fit in the angel universe? Like, I didn't get it all, you know?
You mean like in the beginning or the end?
Well, I know he like lost his mind in the end, but I just kind of thought, what's your story in all this?
I felt like it would, because his whole thing was like, he was an angel who was just supposed to watch everything happening, and he was watching a lot of Matt Damon, okay? And then he was kind of like, Matt, you tired, honey? You want to cuddle on the couch? Just you and me. We gotta quit, you know, if that's what we gotta do. That was my interpretation. Is that what Kevin Smith meant? I don't know, but probably.
Because when you think of the two of them, I'm like, they don't feel like angels. They feel like more in like the devil.
They do.
Demon range. So it's kind of confusing. I'm like, wait, so what's good about Ben Affleck? The people want to know, Katie.
Well, it's just, he was just, I don't know. He wasn't that great because I feel like he kind of got fucking crazy. Like, I feel like he was crazy. Like, I don't know, way earlier than the movie said he was crazy. I was like, I think he's just always been this way. Not good. Not great. Well, listen, Bridge, it's all fun and games murdering people in the movies board office. But then Jay and Silent Bob go to a strip club, and we meet Salma Hayek, who is stripping. But listen.
It wasn't terrible.
This is how you know Harvey Weinstein was not, like, a producer on this movie, was because we didn't see her boobs. Because if he had a fucking say in this, there would have been boobs all over. And Kevin Smith's like,
in the 90s.
He's like, we don't need boobs. Like, it's fine. We get the gist. Whatever. And her name is Serendipity, and she is a muse. And I don't know if that's also an angel or something. Because this is where I needed, like, you know, taking my notes and definitions. Because I was like, oh boy, there's a lot.
I just assumed they all were, like, magical.
Yeah, they were.
Wherever they fit, they were magical no matter what.
She can, like, and her thing is she can, like, give someone, like, an inspiration to do something. Yeah. So, because she was a stripper, she kept giving all the men inspiration to give her more money. And I was like, you know what? I support it.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta do what you gotta do. You know, it's a recession. Yeah. And then they're just like, oh my God, it's great to see you. How's it going? Let's all talk. Go team. Chris Rock's like, I'm trying to get this lady to New Jersey. I don't know. Where are we? Nobody knows yet. And there is a poop monster, Bridget. So that's just...
Okay.
All right.
There's a shit demon, and someone tries to explain where a shit demon comes from. I still didn't get it. And somehow Kevin Smith just stands up and is like, all right, this is how you beat it? I was like, what just happened?
He essentially used poopery, but it wasn't called poopery, but it was poopery. It was just like a spray.
What? That was the part where I was like, okay, who was high doing this?
Yeah, well, we all were high. The shit demon came from when the what was it? Christ was crucified, something, and there were other people crucified, and when you get crucified and you die, you poop your pants, and so it was all the poop pants from there that made the shit demon, and Jason Lee was like, send in the poop. Because that's how we're going to win. And then, yeah, Silent Bob's just like, here's a spritz. You know? Now you smell like flowers. No one will ever know you were poop demon.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So then the shit monster showed up. And I was like, oh shit. No kidding. That was, though, like, really, it looked like poop. And I hated it. So that was the only scene I thought, well, I didn't need this one. However, it brought all of them together, and I thought I would see more of Jason Lee's character.
Oh, yes. So,
yeah, what
apparently, one of the fun facts I read, because I think he was supposed to play Matt Damon's character, but then he wasn't as available, so he took a role that was, like, where you had to film a little bit less.
Because he felt like a good demon. Like, so he always kind of plays this, like, annoyed person.
Bridge, I had the same thought, and we have talked about this theory of actors play themselves, and now I'm a little like, Jason.
Like, who's Jason Lee like?
Like, is this you?
Like, is he annoying?
Do you have little horns? No, but, what the hell is the guy's name? Alvin and the Chipmunks. Oh, Dave. Yeah. He was like Dave from Alvin and the Chipmunks. And I'm like, that's what I think of you as. But after seeing this, I'm kind of like, but is this you? Is this in your heart?
And he's in a ton of Kevin Smith movies.
Yes. Yeah, he is. I don't know. He was also the bad guy in The Incredibles. And he was good at that, too.
Almost Famous, he was the bad guy as far as breaking up the band.
Oh, yeah, he kind of was, wasn't he? Wow, that's our first episode, y'all.
Which, if you got through that one.
Yeah, wow. Kudos to you if you did. All right. Listen here. We're all together. We're going on a train. The train is bringing us to Jersey. We're gonna make it. It's gonna be a day. Guess who else is on the fucking train? Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Okay. Oof. And they don't know who's who, you know. Nobody knows, like, those are the bad people, and the bad people don't know, that's the lady we're looking for. None of this shit. And there's just more conversations that are a little bit of philosophical, where that's where Bethany's like, I don't know if I believe in God, because I did when I was younger, because, like, that's what you do when you're a kid, and it's like, it feels so easy when you're a kid. But then you grow up and, like, bad stuff happens, and you kind of question, like, why is all this bad stuff happening? Like, why is that part of God's plan? That's terrible. And then nobody answers that.
Well, but they also, it's funny because Ben Affleck and others are like, yeah, it's just kind of like a habit, right? He's like, I just watch you guys, and you just, like,
yeah, it
sucks, and you just go. And why do you go?
Yeah.
And even watching it, I still didn't feel like it actually, like, offended religion. I'm like, I think most Catholic people, if they're being honest, are like, it's not a home run every week.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, I just love the way that he writes, because I feel like that could be such a talented. Real, like, just a real thought process that someone would have. And she even was like, I know the moment that I lost my faith. And she goes, it was when I was talking to my mom on the phone. And my mom said, this is all part of God's plan. And I was like, the Catholic guilt strikes again. It will always ruin you. Oh no.
Things not to say.
Yeah, and I guess so. From that, like, kind of melancholy conversation that Ben Affleck has with Bethany, he then decides to go crazy. But then she like gets drunk, and she's like, so this is like crazy, but we're actually going to New Jersey to go to this church because I'm like a chosen one, but we're not calling it a chosen one. We're using like Zion, and that's weird. And there's also bad angels, and like we got to beat them. So like, isn't that crazy? And then Ben Affleck's like, that's me. And you're like, no.
Has the funniest facial expressions during the scene.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I was enjoying watching Ben Affleck be unhinged.
Oh,
and I thought
he
to myself,
was good at it.
He plays, like, I think the latest movie he's in is like The Accountant too. I don't want that.
Oh, no, I don't want
that. Unhinged Ben Affleck. I want
like Gone Girl too, but he's the girl, you know?
Yeah, I want him eating a pint of ice cream crying with like a muumuu on. I want Ben Affleck unhinged. I want him losing his fucking mind and going crazy, because he's so funny when he is.
Yeah.
Like,
And he's a little scary, too. Like, because then he kind of, like, takes her hostage, and he's like, I could kill her right now. And then freaking Matt Damon's like, no, she didn't sin at all. Like, don't do it. And he's like, shut the fuck up, Matt Damon. And I was like, again, is this you guys? Is this behind the closed doors, your relationship? Oh, no. Like, speak kindly to each other.
I can't imagine those two.
Oh, my God. It's so crazy. But you know who saves the day, Bridge? The unsung heroes movie. Oh, well, I was going to say Silent Bob.
Him too. Silent Bob is the hero. He really is in many moments.
He says nothing or little, and he throws them both off the train.
At one point, he looks at a passenger and he goes, no ticket.
I love it. I died. It's so fucking perfect. Like,
it's a good character, especially in comparison with Jason Mewes is like 4,000 words a minute. Mm-hmm. They really are, like, it's a good match. They have good energy, those two.
Yeah. They're hetero life mates. And
I believe that.
They're like, okay, we got to get there to Jersey, and we got to get there fast. And then they get off the train, and then they're camping, and then Alan Rickman's there too. And he's like, listen, bitch, I couldn't tell you all the stuff at once, because that's crazy. So you had to go through a journey. This is the hero's journey, okay? You ever took a screenwriting class? You're gonna fucking learn, all right?
You're gonna learn
today. You're gonna learn today with Alan Rickman. And he's like, you know, I had to tell little tween Jesus, he was a son of God, and that sucks. You know, he was sad, and, you know, I had to deal with it, but this is what we do. So, you know, here we go.
Alan
and she's
Rickman
just like, ugh.
Is always such a crankpot. And I love when he goes on these, like, rampages about, you guys don't know shit about religion unless it's in a movie. And all of a sudden, now you know everything. I'm like, that is
the Prince of Egypt.
That is everything. That's Alan Rickman. That's what happened.
It's true. And this is where you get the whole, she is a genetic descendant of Jesus, which also means she's genetically a descendant of God, maybe. Yeah. Something.
Carry the two.
And then add and
sounds good to me. And she's the last living anybody.
I was just like,
I guess her parents are dead. Okay, whatever.
Everybody around her's dying. Yeah. And I was just like, okay, that's fine. So then their plan is they're gonna go to this church and they're gonna ask the cardinal, hey, don't have the church open on the day, because I don't know why there's a deadline. Apparently there's a deadline. I don't know. And then they go to the cardinal, and he's just like, we got to get the numbers up. He's like, the numbers are down in the pews. We got to get them up. And they're like, no. And yeah, he doesn't believe him. So, and then Jay steals his golf club. And I was like, that's amazing. I love it. Everything in this movie had a purpose, because you think, that's stupid. Why did I need to see a golf club that was stolen? Well, because the golf club was holy blessed something.
Oh my God.
And we use it to kill Jason Lee when he kidnaps us in the next scene. Okay? Kevin Smith thought of this. All right.
I laughed so hard when Salma Hayek, by the way, was like the person in the movie theater explaining what's happening.
Definitely.
She was like, of course he blessed his clubs and that's why he could actually die. And I was like, thank you. You are the closed captioning.
She
but in a fun and exciting way. And
she is clippy.
I literally loved it. I was like, give me more. Selma, how does this angel kill people, but this angel does it? But this one's a demon. Where's the shit monster coming from?
Not the shit monster.
But here we are. We made it. Jason Lee's gone.
Yes.
Evil hockey kids are gone. And so you're like, oh, I guess we're just dealing with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's bullshit.
Listen, their bullshit's crazy because they roll up to the church and there's like a big crowd and Ben Affleck goes on a crazy person monologue. Again, well acted or just a Tuesday. I don't know. And then, yes, everybody starts to get murdered and that's crazy. And then... they all show up to the church and Matt Damon's there and he's like, hey, I'm drunk now and I'm a human. And like Ben Affleck's just killing people. He's like, he's just crazy, guys.
So they could always be human if somebody shot off their wings.
Yes.
But they couldn't do it. Was that the legalities?
I don't know if it was that they couldn't do it.
Okay.
Maybe.
Because why didn't they make each other humans before?
Who did Matt Damon's wings?
I don't know, but they were gone. That's how he was drinking alcohol.
I think they didn't want to become human before all this because they would then eventually die. And if they died, they wouldn't go to heaven.
Got it. So
the only way that they could
is if
get to heaven is to do this forgiving of the sin, something.
Okay.
Yeah, and, Ben Affleck's, really crazy. And he kills Matt Damon. My heart.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
They were arguing, okay? It was domestically not good.
They're freaking dramatic, those two.
They really are, and they're gonna deal with it, for the rest of their lives. And we'll watch it on screen, and I'll pay money every time. Okay. But you know what, Bridge? We have to find God, because we're like, God is somewhere, and Azrael is... the problem. He did something. Where could God be? And this goes back. Who the heck was that homeless man in the beginning? They call him John Doe Jersey is what they keep calling him. It's national news that a homeless man got beat up in New Jersey and now he's in a coma. And that's when Bethany's like, that's God. Let's go get him. Oh, he's right there across the road.
She pulled a Clarice Starling and she connected that shit so
fucking God.
Hard. I was like, never. I was going to lose the puzzle.
I would have lost
killed
the puzzle.
Everyone. It would have killed eternity. Yeah. This is why we're not descendants.
No, yeah. I couldn't do all that walking. God comes. God is Alanis Morissette. God doesn't say shit because that's what Alan Rickman's for. He's God's voice. And there's a fucking part where there's so many good quotes in this movie. Because, Ben Affleck's murdering everybody, and I guess that's across the street from the hospital. And there's some announcement where it goes, I repeat, this is not a drill. This is the apocalypse. Please exit the hospital in an orderly fashion. And everyone's like, ah!
So stupid.
And I was like, I know it's a comedy, but would this happen in real life? Maybe.
I'm afraid.
And Alanis Morissette's there, and she's just like, listen here, Ben Affleck. You're a bitch. And then he cries, as he should. And she just gives him a little hug. And then explodes his head. She
just talks and explodes his head because apparently no one can really hear God because it makes your head explode.
Humans can't. And he was a human because Jay used like a fucking machine gun and shot his wings off. That was great. And then he's gone and you're like, well, day is saved. But it's fucking not, because Bethany is dead and bleeding out of her stomach uterus.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was like, what happened to her?
I think when Alanis Morissette came out of the coma, she exploded stuff, and then
it hit Bethany's stomach. Okay.
Bethany, dead person. Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what? God's God, and God's like, I can fix this shit, and swing, there we go. And then she cleans up all the dead people. Are they alive again, or are they just dead?
I did find that interesting. Everyone's like, oh, good job, Alanis. And I was like, wait, did she just, like, clean up the bodies?
Yeah, like,
or
where'd they go?
Alive?
Yeah, like, what's the,
like, nobody, because there was no people around.
No.
I was like, all right.
No witnesses to this.
Awkward.
And then she's like, Bethany, you're alive again. Just like Jesus. You died for our sins, Bethany. Except I might have killed you, but I brought you back. So, you're welcome.
I brought you back, and I got you pregnant.
Okay.
So now she's Mary Magdalene?
Bethany?
Wait, not Mary Magdalene.
You mean Virgin Mary?
Virgin Mary.
But she's not a virgin. But
shout out to her sister, who's named after the Virgin Mary.
Oh, here we go. Bringing it back. Mary had a baby on my Lord. Mary had a baby on my Lord. Wow. Kevin Smith in the remake of Dogma. Please have that song in it. Thank you.
For those that don't know us, our sister Mary was super shocked to our parents, and my dad was convinced the Virgin Mary made it happen, and therefore they called her Mary. And that's our family.
The beam of light came down through the cloud. It was pouring rain, and he claimed a beam of light came down.
Yep.
Yeah. Mary had a baby.
Mary had a baby, oh my Lord.
Mary had a baby, oh my Lord. And you know what? Listen, Alanis Morissette's there. Jay's like, I still want to make out with someone. And God's like, chill, just, it's all good. And then Bethany's like, why are we here, God? And God gives her a little super bad beep boop on the nose. And then she leaves. And I'm like,
so we didn't get the answer.
I think the answer is the boop.
What is it?
It's the boop.
We're here to boop people in the nose?
I am. I mean, you're not? No?
I am. I didn't know if that's the only reason I'm here, but I guess that's one of them.
I think it's a big reason why we're here, so that's what I say. You know? Wow. Well, Bridge, what do you think? Would you watch or don't watch Dogma?
I would watch. It's heavy dialogue. Like, you gotta be in that mode.
Yeah.
And I think people would get a kick out of young Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. How about you?
They're so young. Yeah, I would watch it. I mean, it's, as Bridget mentioned, it is free on YouTube. Apparently Kevin Smith supports the fact it is free on YouTube because he's like, fuck Harvey Weinstein.
Love that.
How is Harvey Weinstein still ruining lives from jail? Let me know.
Horrible.
Kevin Smith does own the movie theater in Atlantic Highlands, and I believe, I feel like this was recent, or maybe it's an upcoming event, where he's going to be showing Dogma in the theater, because he does a lot of, like, where he'll do a movie, and then he'll be in the theater, and, like, watch it with everyone, and then, like, talk about it and stuff, so I do feel like, because it's the
25th anniversary!
25th anniversary, yeah, so that's why he's like, we're doing it. And I wonder if that means he's also, like, there's some expiration date on the rights. Like, I don't think it's forever and always Harvey Weinstein is gonna own it. I think it, like, expires after a certain amount of years.
Wait, Katie. Oh, it's all sold out. It's Wednesday the 14th and Thursday the 15th and every single day.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, never mind.
Well, I can protest outside and say, just kidding, I love you.
Oh my God, they called it the Resurrection Tour.
Get the fuck out of here. We love it. We love to see it.
Do you love it? Would you watch it again?
Oh yeah, I would watch it again. I blacked out. I thought I said that. Yeah,
maybe you did, and I'd give
it a beep boop on the nose, you know?
Oh, that's fun. You give it a beep boop.
Boop. Yep.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, it's my pick.
Woo!
And I'm sorry I'm gonna not do anything like Dogma.
That's okay. Change it up.
This is from 1994.
Ooh, the 90s.
It is starring, a bunch of people we've already done a lot of movies with.
Oh.
It's considered an action comedy. And believe it or not, it's directed by James Cameron. That's going to throw you off.
1994?
1994.
Who did Titanic? Okay. That was 97.
Kind of has a Basic Instinct vibe.
Oh, geez. Are we going to see a Mons Pubis?
No Mons Pubis.
Okay.
But this is starring our guy, Arnold.
Arnold! Oh, is it, wait, was that 90s? Is it Total Recall?
No. Oh. Starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Tom Arnold, Bill Paxton.
True Lies?
And Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's True Lies!
Ah! Okay, this is gonna sound ridiculous. I watched this entire movie with no sound or subtitles.
Why?
Because when I worked at one of the dog daycares, we had TVs, but we didn't have sound, and I couldn't figure out the subtitles, and that was the movie that was on TV. So I kind of know the plot, but not entirely. Oh my God, James Cameron, what do you know? This is Jamie Lee Curtis with her signature short haircut too, I believe, at this movie, right?
Ooh-wee.
And I like kind of love that because I'm like, hell yeah, girl, you hot. You know, her and Arnold are married in the movie.
Just feel like we gotta get done. We gotta get through these. What is it? Through.
Do you have like a description for the movie you can read?
Let me read it. Hold on. A spy, secretly a dull computer salesman to his wife, is tasked with stopping nuclear terrorists while his personal life is also thrown into chaos.
Oh, there's a lot with that.
Enjoy that.
Tom Arnold, huh?
Sorry, okay. Kevin Smith. We went from you to Arnold, and
Arnold.
Here we
are. Wow. I'm ready. I'm always ready for an Arnold movie.
I want to see Jason Mewes meet Arnold Schwarzenegger on film.
Oh my God.
He would throw him out a window.
Oh my God. He'd like bench press him and then like spin him and then Trunchable throw him.
I love it so much.
Oh wow. Well, Bridge.
Yeah.
I just want to say.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's so many things I can say. If Alan Rickman showed up, which if he did show up in your bedroom, you have to believe he's an angel.
You have
like,
to. It's Alan Rickman.
We can't be like, no. Like, radical acceptance is needed. But if that happened, and you were the chosen one, something, and he was like, you gotta go to Jersey. Bridge, I mean, no joke. I am booking you a ticket. I'm driving and picking you up, and I'm like, get in. We're going.
Oh my God.
Penny can come too, okay? We gotta get there because you're the chosen one. I think I'm something also because we're related. One. I'm like a quarter of a chosen one, maybe. So, and I do that for you to help you in whatever the hell we had to do because I love you.
Well, because I love you, thank you for that. And because I love you, I actually somehow got both Ben Affleck and Matt Damon to hang out with us and talk about Sisters Who've Seen It so we can actually see their secret dynamic and sing to them, Secret Lovers. And then they say, you're right, Katie, you were always right. We are secret lovers, and that's why it's just meant to be. Thank you. And I would do that all for you. I'd stage it, and you'd boop them.
I'd boop them each on the nose and be like, I am always right. Correct. Wow. I did make a note when I was fucking watching this movie where I was like, wow, I really want Jason Mewes to be a guest star on our podcast and be Jay and just be there. Any character from this movie on our podcast would be really great. Except maybe Silent Bob because he needs to say a couple words, but you know what I mean. But I love that. I love that, Bridge. Thank you. And listeners, if you also think that Ben Affleck and Matt Damon might have been and or presently are secret lovers. And if you think that this movie brought up some points. It brought up some points.
It did.
Not in a pretentious, snobby way. It was very realistic thinking for humans, and I love that. And if you think that New Jersey is the state that the world's existence hinges on.
Oh, no.
If we didn't have New Jersey, we would cease to be. Okay?
Oh, no.
Just remember, recognize what you gotta do. Yeah, if you think all that, you should write us a review. We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts along with some other podcasting apps. And we also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. On our website, you can request a movie. So there is a form you can fill out. Your request goes in a list. And we look at the list every now and then. And we will do it eventually. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
They can give us money.
Woo!
Which will go to us secretly finding out if Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are lovers. And then they can buy merchandise.
Woo!
So you can wear our stuff and then tell Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes to come on our podcast. Because you have the stuff and it looks official.
I mean, what would you do if I literally made like a protest sign and I stood outside the theater and was like, protest Dogma, and then I turn around and I'm like, JK, Kevin, just come on my podcast, please.
I'm just going to tell you right now, I think because those two things are sold out, that you should absolutely make a sign and stand outside.
And I'm just like, give me a ticket, let me in. Give me a ticket, let me in.
That would be awesome.
I mean, I've been to his like events like that before, and I don't know. I don't feel like there's ever enough seats. So would they really know? Like, I could toss some money as I walk. You know, like I don't need a seat.
Why not? Who cares?
I don't know.
We'll figure it out. Stand in the back.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. So yes, listeners, check all that out, and we hope to hear from you. All right. Well, we'll see you all next week for True Lies with Arnold. See what kind of weapons he uses.
Here we go. Hope y'all are ready. Going from Jersey to Arnold.
Yeah. I love it.
God bless you.
Wow.
Except for Ben Affleck. I
bless
love you.
Oh, I love you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Wow, that's an old reference.
Love
I love
Sister
you.
Act.
Bye. I love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.